The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
Hello, you've reached the Podcasting Dead. How can I help you?
Oh my God, we have a voicemail now?
No, more or less, you know.
Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I can hear you just fine, pal. You sound magnificent.
Let me make sure you're picking me up through the mic, the external mic, not the mic on the laptop. Let me tap the mic real quick.
All right, you tap it. Give it a good tap.
I'm going to tap it hard.
All right. Oh, yeah, I can hear that. That sounds good.
Almost sensual, right?
Yeah, I like that tapping. You keep that going. Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready. I'm going to start it out, but I've got something to say is why I'm going to start it out.
No, brother, we're recording right now, baby. We're doing the show. We're doing it live right now.
Oh, we're doing it live right now?
We're rolling, brother.
All right, well, then let me just go on record to say how wrong I was, man. I believe... All right, so obviously spoilers here as we discuss the 7th episode of Season 10 of The Walking Dead.
That's right, only one more.
I can't believe it, I'm so sad. But how wrong was I? You were a little suspicious of Dante, weren't you?
I called it last week. We were both wrong. We were both right on one account. You suspected the water was tainted. You were right. And last week I was like, Dante's just being way too friendly to not be evil. And so, yeah, and I'm not going to act like that was a totally original thought. I'd seen some rumblings on the Facebook and all this kind of stuff. But I didn't like it, man. I always felt there was something up with him just because he's going out of his way to be so damn nice. So
yeah, I just, I think I was basing it off of the fact that that in the comics, and again, spoilers, but this has been a while ago. But in the comics, Dante kind of becomes Maggie's new love interest.
Exactly.
And so I thought, there are things that they change, but at the end of the day, I thought, okay, the whole Dante being there, that's just setting up for new stories for Maggie. She's going to get back. She's going to meet Dante. And if you recall, in the comics, Dante was very similar to how he is in the show, just very kind of just in your face and corny jokes and, that regard. But
right.
Boy, was I wrong.
And man, I didn't even remember this. I was reading something that they suspected he might be a whisperer or something like in the comic. I totally don't remember that, but I was reading a little review thing. Like they even thought he might be Beta. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I was reading that on one of these sites. It's been
wow. No, I don't remember anything like that, but I definitely was not. So all the listeners who called that, good job, man. You guys killed it. Of course I thought he was acting weird, but I just kind of thought that was his character. In the comics, he's corny. He tells jokes, that's kind of how he gets on Maggie's nerves, but then slowly wins her over. So I just thought that's what they were going for. But, man, what a twist that, apparently only I never saw coming.
Yeah, well, I mean, between Luke and Eugene, man, we don't need another cornball funny guy, man. I've got my fill of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that equation is balanced. So Dante needs to go, because now he's going to be still joking around, doing his thing, scuttlebutting all over Dude Man's grave, Siddiq's grave.
It makes me wonder, because in the scenes from next week's episode, they did show him in a jail cell, so I'm wondering how that's going to come about. Mm. Side note, I don't know if JP told the listeners or not, but I'm broadcasting from home, which is why I might sound a little different because I'm a little under the weather. So if you're wondering why I sound a little different or sound different quality of microphone than JP, that's why. But
yeah.
But yeah, man, another fantastic episode. I think they're really knocking it out of the park this whole season. But neither you nor I were that big of fans of Siddiq.
No, man, I hated him. But just real quick to touch back on what I was talking about, the Hollywood Reporter says that there were theories, now we're talking about the comic book, that Dante was the man under the mask of a very prominent whisperer talking about Beta. And again, I don't remember, it's been a long time since I've read the comics. I don't remember this being an angle in the comic, but yeah, it's saying that it was kind of a nod to the comic because on, it was just it was alleged, but never. Oh Lord, what is that? That's a
sorry, that's my dog.
Right. But yeah, it was alleged in the comic that unless this article is complete bullshit, and it could be, but yeah. So I don't know.
I never.
I don't remember.
I never caught wind of that. Like a lot of people were definitely saying they suspected that. I didn't. I just, I definitely could see where people would get that. But again, reading the comics, so it's almost another time too where you want to say like kudos to Angela Kang and the writing staff for taking something we thought we knew and completely switching it up on us.
Right. But just like I said, just this article talking about how that was a suspicion in the comic, that I totally don't remember that. But anyway, I don't know if it's Mandela effect kind of stuff or me just getting a little too high when I'm reading comics. I don't know. But
probably a combination of
probably so. One thing I do know, man, is I'm glad Siddiq's gone. I hope that, Dante ain't strutting around for too long. I really hope he doesn't get in Maggie's pants now. Can you imagine that? If they follow it that far, man, and this murderous, whispering bastard is getting on that Maggie butt, man, that's going to be hard to watch.
So let me back up here. You said you're very glad Siddiq is gone.
Yeah, dude, I never liked him. I'm glad he's dead. Yeah, if Dante was going to kill one person, I would have said yes. Siddiq is just fine by me.
And do you almost feel like the whole Carl thing was a waste now?
I mean, I felt it was a waste when it happened, and even more so now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I always do this, though. When characters I don't like die, and the way he died was just kind of really sad. I kind of felt really bad for him. I watched the Talking Dead afterwards. I don't know if you did or not, but
I caught some of it.
Chandler Riggs was on there, and the actor that played Siddiq. And I'm gonna tell you what, they gave Siddiq quite a send-off.
Yeah, they really did.
Very. I don't know if I'm just a little sad that he's gone, or if that tribute on the Talking Dead just did it for me. But yeah, we didn't get to catch up anything with Negan or the Whisperers on this one. I imagine we'll circle back to that. But now let's get to the Lydia thing, man. So Lydia feeling a little conflicted and used, but I still don't understand why she would run back to her mom.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, I know she. I think she just doesn't feel like she has a place. I don't know that she's necessarily even running back to her as opposed to just running away from everything.
Yeah, because she did say she chose her side, so she could. Maybe she's not going back to her mom. Maybe she's just going to go out on her own, which she's probably well equipped to do because she definitely knows how to survive in the woods with next to nothing. So I mean, yeah, that probably is where she's what she's planning to do. But man, when she smacked Carol with that stick, I was like,
oh yeah,
it is getting serious.
And man, Carol should have just leveled with her. Like, look, your mama, said such and such, and we gonna catch her in a lie, and not have to like cut this dude's dick off or something to make him spill the beans.
Yeah, that's what I didn't understand. Why they? I mean, Lydia's definitely shown them or it expressed to them like, hey, I'm on your side. I'll do what I can, whatever. So I don't know why they wouldn't just go down and be like, all right, so look, here's the deal. Your mom's telling everybody she killed you. Clearly she didn't. Mm-hmm. So we're going to try to just create some tension that, I don't know. I don't know why Carol wouldn't have just told her that. But by being so sneaky, now Lydia thinks Carol is just as bad as Alpha.
Yep. Yeah.
But, and Aaron's friendship with Gamma, it's so crazy to watch how Alpha exhibits these real life cult leader behaviors, just in a way she beats Gamma and then turns around and tells her how much she believes in her. That's some real world shit right there.
Yeah, man, she's a master manipulator. I mean, it would make sense if she was like a psychotherapist or something in the real world. They haven't really revealed. I know we got a flashback, but what she was in the world before, they haven't revealed that, have they? Did I miss that?
Not that I'm aware of. Not as far as occupation.
Right.
That would definitely see her being someone who understood psychology and things like that, because she definitely knows how to manipulate it. Because very cultish. Because Negan, actually was, because the governor and his squad, I wouldn't really call them cultish. But definitely Negan kind of had a cult following. The governor not so much. With Alpha, I would definitely cross that into like straight up cult.
Oh yeah, man. She's Charlie Manson all the way. I mean,
the Wolves, I think, were pretty cultish, but I mean, I don't know, man. She's just like the ultimate cult leader, like a bald female Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when you're getting tortured and your leader, keeps you from telling stuff. Yeah, she's got that pull. Oh yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out with Gamma now, because she's feeling like ridiculously conflicted, and I mean, like you think, I mean, like, because if I'm understanding right or recalling right, I mean, half the reason why she was okay with sacrificing her sister was because Alpha had sacrificed her daughter, they thought. Right.
And then, come to find out that, what Alpha would more or less expect each one of them to do, she's not even able to do herself.
Yeah, man. I mean, the dude they had locked up, they were questioning, man. I mean, for good jelly not to turn him, she's got a hog. I mean, they've probably been eating like gophers and grasshoppers and crawfish and stuff. Yeah. Which that hog was probably really good. I bet that hog was amazing. Yeah, that hog, man. I had some bacon today, speaking of which. Yeah, dude, a lady I used to work with, she does this big 4th of July thing. They actually cooked a whole hog like that one year, like dug the pit, the whole thing. I didn't get to have any. I didn't go, but yeah, that's amazing, man. Pickings in my day, let me tell you, delicious. Yeah, I've been to some really good barbecues, and for those not in the South, a barbecue for us is like smoked pulled pork barbecue. It's not like a barbecue just like grilling hamburgers and hot dogs. Oh, yeah, I guess that could be confusing, because, I mean, you say, like, hey, let's have a barbecue. People come over, and you just totally do steaks or hot dogs or hamburgers or whatever. Yeah, around here, that does not fly. That will, that might get you shot at. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know about shot at, but you definitely won't be, people won't be showing up to any more of your barbecues. Yeah, you say you're having a barbecue, and people show up, and it's hot dogs and hamburgers. You're going to be getting some dirty looks. That's why I choose my words carefully. I say, hey, let's cook out this weekend. Yeah, that's what we do. We have cookouts, and if you have a barbecue, that's a big deal because you're smoking a hog and you're pulling it apart and you're eating it. So. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But backing up, man, I mean, how do you think Rosita's going to take this? I mean, she just had that heart-to-heart with Siddiq and pulled him out of the water and all of that, and then, like, he dies that night. I mean, how do you think she's going to react to this? I mean, we know she's got Eugene on the mind. She wants some of that mullet, but how do you think she's going to react to it? Man, she's definitely going to be looking for some comfort in somebody's arms. We know she's a highly sexual person. When faced with grief, and plus you got the baby stuff, and, like, everybody's getting sick, yeah, she's going to be looking for some solace. It's interesting that, I don't know, I just figure, so basically what's happening is the water's being messed with. Now, is this correct? I mean, keep in mind I was sick last night, so I might not have seen everything the way I should have, but so, was this coming from the bodies in the water? I don't think they've really revealed that yet, and I could be wrong, too, because, my memory gets a little fuzzy. I like to watch it twice, didn't get to watch it twice. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering as well. I don't know. I don't think they revealed the source of the contamination, but because we know that Siddiq figured something out. I don't know, man. Like Siddiq, and I guess it's hard to do when you're not in that place. But I feel like I'd have tried to put on an act or something, been like, "Thank you for being such a good friend, Dante. It's getting a little stuffy in here. Let me open this window real quick." Right. Kind of like scale down or something. I mean, and just ran and got the hell out of there. But I mean, Siddiq's been a basket case anyway. I mean, and that's so crazy, man. Not only has Dante, like, been there and heard all of the PTSD and talked to him through it, but like Dante was the guy who held him down and basically forced him to watch. I mean, that's some twisted shit. Oh, he's a sadist, man. He's getting off on this all the way. All the way he's getting off on it. And I mean, he just took out the other Whisperer, because I thought the way they were going with that whole thing was going to be like Siddiq had like subconsciously poisoned this guy and didn't remember it due to his PTSD, whatever. So, I mean, even when that happened, I mean, I was so dumb last night. Like, even through that point, I'm like, well, damn, Siddiq, you can't be a doctor, man, if you can't give the right medicine to people without killing them. Yeah, man. And like, up to that point, when they finally started doing a little noise, I was like, oh, snap. Yeah. All of our listeners are right. Yeah, man. Dante's been up to no good. Even when Siddiq was getting on him about not having the right herbal medicines or whatever for people. He was doing all that shit on purpose.
On purpose. Just
on
straight
purpose,
up
man.
Sabotaging, man. It makes you wonder if there's any other whispers that have infiltrated them.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just watching people die, like, you know, golly, that's cold-blooded.
That'd be a good tactic, to be honest, if you wanted to divide and conquer, man. Like, just if you know your enemy in like the Walking Dead world is taking in a bunch of new people. I mean, you can't let the person know that they're going in for this, but I guess as a leader and putting yourself in like alpha shoes where you don't mind sacrificing your soldiers for stuff like this, like send someone in as a new person and then have them become like, let people know, like eventually, like they figure, set them up for failure, basically, where people learn that they're a traitor. And I mean, I'm not saying it would win you the war, but you definitely would do a good job of creating some like division amongst them, like a witch hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially they're constantly taking in new people.
Yeah, and that's
Alpha, man. She don't play. She's. What do you think of Samantha Morton as Alpha? You still loving it?
I like her. I mean, we've said before her accent's a little bit on the nose, you know, like she just came from a southern plantation and now we're going to wear people's faces.
I do say, yeah. She does do and a lot of them do. Like, I'm going back now and I'm halfway through season 2. I'm rewatching The Walking Dead. I paused and I'm watching that movie Annihilation at the moment, but you know, I'm going back through it, and I mean, like, Andrew Lincoln is phenomenal. I mean, there's no questioning that, and I would really like for us to do something cool, man. Like, go back and, like, review each episode.
Oh, man.
Like, starting at the beginning, because there's still so much to be said on just how it changes, where it goes. I think we should we mentioned that in the past. I think we should follow through, but, you know, like, Rick's accent sometimes it's just terrible. Like, dude, no one talks. I met a scientist. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
As someone who lives in, you know, the area. Like, I mean, we're really not that far from Atlanta when you think about it.
No, we're not.
And you do have some country people, but very few people would say, I met a man. He was a scientist.
Yeah.
Like, nobody really talks like that, but you forgive it. And I'm that way with Samantha Morton, dude. I think she does such a good job as Alpha. Like, her body language, the way she moves. I mean, I think she is the only complaint I think I would have on her is the accent. Otherwise, man, I think she is fantastic.
Yeah, the intensity's there, man. It's definitely there. And now just the question is what's going to happen next week. We got one more episode, man. I don't know.
I mean, I think we're going to get linked back up with Michonne from what I'm seeing on the, you know, next week on The Walking Dead. We're going to link back up with Michonne and the Seaside. I was really, man, I kind of got scared for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. Was her going to the Seaside like her departure from the show? You know what I mean? Because we've definitely seen anticlimactic departures for people. I mean, Maggie just straight up wasn't on the next episode.
Yeah, for real.
So I was like, if my girl Michonne, as much as I love her, I mean, easily one of my top 3 characters on the entire show. If that's the send-off she gets, I'm going to be mad. But, alas, we see that she's going to be in next week's episode. Looks like there's some turbulence. I don't know, maybe there might be a traitor at Seaside.
Could be, man.
Excuse me.
I just had a frightening vision as you were speaking.
Oh, Lord, I want to hear it.
Yeah, you know, and we're not going to give it away for those who haven't read the comic, but, you know, the big moment we're kind of building towards with Negan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What if they did a little swapping and that moment were to happen with Michonne, maybe?
Like she's the one to do it?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, but the only problem I have with that then is it's almost wasted for Negan to have done everything he's done.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to really, unless they're going to have him, I don't know, link up, really. But
that would be a big kick in the balls.
We've seen on the and then it's keep in mind things when I talk about my thoughts last night. Remember, I was half sick too, but yeah, I forget too. We've seen on the trailer for this season, like there's a clip of Michonne with like Negan's bat. Mm-hmm. I'm still anxious to see if that's going to be like a dream or how that's going to be. So we still have a lot of exciting things left this season. I just hate that we have to take like a 3 or 4 month break to get to them.
It'll be like February when we get back to it. So yeah, it's gonna be a little while.
And I'm not ready to depart with it just yet.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going to fill that TV void. Cause, you know, I've been digging Watchmen, but that ain't got too many episodes left either. So I don't know.
I got to catch up on that. I really liked the first episode that I watched. I didn't really understand all the hate that it got, but I've got to watch the rest of that. I watched the new Rick and Morty today. You get to get a lot accomplished in terms of watching when you're sick.
Yeah, dude, that's one benefit to being under the weather. You get to kind of catch up on your pleasures.
But yeah,
hey man, you as long as you keep the germs, the sick germs out of work, man, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good idea to bring a sore throat sickness into a place where like 80% of the employees use their voice to make money. So
yeah, man, I was using my throat to make money long before I started working here, and the last thing you want is strep, circulating.
I can't imagine that would be like sucking off a knife, I imagine.
Yeah, it ain't no fun, believe me.
Man, JP's past. We could just do an entire backstory on JP's past.
Yeah, we could, but not today, not here, not now, but maybe.
But yeah, and I'm looking at other things of this. Well, we definitely know that Rosita is thinking more about Eugene. It looks us for a while. We were both pretty sure that no, they're not gonna. That's one part of the comic they're gonna leave out is the Rosita Eugene thing. But I think that they're slowly moving in that direction.
Yeah, man. It'll be interesting to see if he finally gets that sweet brown booty. I don't know.
She's a little paler though. I mean, I think she just got like a pale white booty.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Especially now too, she's sick. So maybe.
Yeah, but now he's got his girl on the radio now though. So I don't know, man.
It's sad. Well, you know what? It's not sad, but it is sad how much time we've spent thinking about Rosita's booty.
Yeah, dude, I've thought about it often, many, many times.
Are you excited at the prospect of Maggie coming back?
Yeah, dude, I hope they do her justice. I hope she doesn't come back being a straight-up B like she was when she left, but...
Yeah, that was some terrible writing, just going into we're going to teach Rick a lesson. And then Daryl's like, yeah, we are. It was at that point that I was like, man, kill Daryl. I don't give a damn. Now, of course... last 2 seasons, I've absolutely loved Daryl. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm back to he's in my top 3. It's Daryl, Michonne, and Daryl, Michonne, and Carol, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that. That's some good ones.
But yeah, I don't. So, what do you think's going to come of Gamma, man? I mean, do we think that she's going to like turn on Alpha? I do. I think she's going to straight up turn on Alpha and start helping the people and. I think that she's just going to think about her sister. And then the baby is still alive, right? They saved the baby.
Yeah, the baby's still out there doing what babies do.
Get into the group, the hilltop, wherever the baby is. And they said where the baby is, forgive me for not knowing. I'm just not thinking clearly at the moment. But, I mean, she could, essentially raise her sister's baby.
Yeah, that's a big bargaining chip, man. You got her flesh and blood. I mean, not to mention, like all the amenities of home, not having to sleep under a pine tree or whatever they be doing.
I think they just sleep wherever they can.
Yeah, I'm still kind of disappointed, man. They haven't worked in like the sexual assault is just like a cool thing with Whisperers. To me, that was like a really big like point in the comics. They just be raping one another because rape isn't a concept; they're animals.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure in today's world, people would just be like, "Oh my God, they're making rape." But it's like, no, that shapes the narrative for the Whisperers. That shapes how you look at them. You're supposed to. Robert Kirkman, when he wrote it, wanted you to look at the Whisperers as barbaric animals. Like, oh my God. And I mean, there's very few things in this world, more barbaric than rape. So it's like, the Whisperers were just like, hey, here's the deal. Animals don't ask consent. They just do it. And if the female don't want it, she's strong enough, she can fight him off. And if she can't, then she has sex. And it's like, as nasty and terrible as that is, like, that's how the Whisperers looked at it, which, again, helped you to be like, damn, these people are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the fact, the whole scene with Negan and Rapey Davy, I mean, that's almost wasted there, just if it doesn't come up again.
That's one thing I love so much about Negan. Say what you want about him. He'll beat your friends' heads in with a baseball bat. He'll control your life, steal your goods, but he does not put up with any kind of rape.
No, it's got to be at least somewhat consensual. I mean, he will, make you work down in the pits of the factory if you don't want to be his wife, but... he's still not going to put it up in you without some consent.
It was interesting, too. Chandler Riggs on the Talking Dead last night had a good point. He was like, man, when you think about it, though, and they've said this before, but like if you were to have followed Negan's story all the way up, probably would think. I mean, think about like Rick and them went up in that outpost and just killed tons of people in their sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, just murdered all of Negan's people. Then he lines them up. And, I mean, they murdered more of Negan's people. Like Negan said, I sent my people to kill your people for killing my people. You killed more of my people. Yeah. Like they just they slaughtered a lot of Negan's people in their sleep. And then, he sent more people. And it's like at the end of the day, all he did was line them up and kill 2 people. Now, he would have only killed 1 had Daryl not got up. So essentially his plan was, even though you killed all these people of mine, I'm just going to kill one of your people. They really got off easy when you think about it.
Yeah, it's true.
I can hear the keyboard warrior just like, that's bullshit. Nigga's an asshole.
Yeah.
Which he certainly is an asshole, but kind of like Merle, he's our asshole.
Right. Some people are never going to forgive him, and that's okay, But
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, though. Well, you know what? What is wrong with me, JP? I didn't even put Negan in my top 3.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm going to probably say Daryl, Michonne, and Negan.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
And then, like I said, Carol would be right there. I mean, I love Carol. It's tough. I don't know. I'm going to go with top 4. I don't want to narrow it down to 3. My top 4.
Yeah, you can do that. Do 4.
I think most people do top 5. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, no, I don't know, man. I can't believe Siddiq is dead. But, I mean, I'm bravo to the show for, I mean, I ain't going to say it's doing something no one saw coming, because apparently a lot of people thought something was up with him. But I think, that the problem is in The Walking Dead, we've had so many times where they were kind of like Game of Thrones. You had all these wild fan theories, and only like 1 out of 10 actually came to fruition. Right. The rest were just all, plausible, but just out in left field fan speculation. But, so this was one, I'm completely wrong. Like, I thought that's what it was, just wild fan speculation, and then it happens, and I mean, I just was like, oh my God. And then the whole time I kept thinking he was just going to choke Siddiq, and then when he was just laying there with his eyes open, I was like, holy shit, they just killed Siddiq.
Yeah, man. I did, like I said, I suspected he was villainous, but I didn't think they were going to kill, I didn't think anybody was going to die like that this past episode, any like mainstays.
No, I mean, they really haven't, other than, finales and stuff, we don't have, that's one thing The Walking Dead used to have, and Angela King started slowly bringing it back. I mean, we had all the heads on pikes. Actually, was not the finale. It was the episode before the finale. But, for a while, we kind of got into where nobody died unless it was a finale or, mid-season finale or something. So, kudos for throwing something like that just on the, 7th episode.
Yeah, man. Hopefully they keep it going. We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I'm loving it. Last I saw a couple episodes back, they said the ratings were still dropping, to which just blows my mind. I mean, I get once you're out of the show, you're out of the show, but I love it, man. And I mean, to each their own. I'm not at all saying, like, when I say I don't get it, I think some people think, sometimes when somebody says that, like, I'm not saying you're wrong. When I say I don't get it, I'm literally saying I don't get it. Like, I mean, to each their own. I freaking love it. But some people not happy. I guess it's whatever butters your biscuit. But I freaking love this season.
Yeah, and I think it's still the number one show on cable right now on Sunday nights, and a lot of people are streaming it. A lot of diehard fans are watching it 2 days beforehand with the AMC app or whatever it is. So
they're very true. There's lots of other ways to watch it that they probably don't take into account when they do it. I mean, it's like I told my friend. I was like, we were at the beach actually when the first episode of this season aired. And my friend, when we were on the beach, she's like, man, I was just reading an article that said that, this is the lowest ratings The Walking Dead's ever had. I'm like, and even though it's the lowest they've ever had, it's still like millions of people.
Right.
So like, whereas other shows, they go, oh, the ratings are dropping, they're going to cancel it. That's because like people just quit watching it. The Walking Dead can suffer ratings drops and still be like the biggest viewed show on cable.
Yeah, and I mean, it's sad, man, but unless just like Rick Grimes comes back, the numbers will probably keep dipping, I mean, I don't see
problem
like
when you kill off the main character, because I love how it shows like this will be like, we don't have, because I think I've seen it before, like Rick's not the main character. No, bullshit. Rick's the main character. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's more like the cult follow. I mean, I don't see them picking up a lot of like new viewers, you know what I mean? I think pretty much
I'm
it's
hoping
just
they'll
the
have some returning
diehards.
viewers.
Yeah, hopefully. But
people that have maybe left the show, but then they'll hear, people like ourselves and others talking about how much they're enjoying it, how The Walking Dead is back to being good. I mean, I'm not going to say necessarily, like going back through now, I'm a couple of episodes into season 2, which is funny, which, honestly, I should preface every podcast about The Walking Dead with the fact that 9 times out of 10 listeners do not ever agree with me, or people in general, because like season 2, it's like one of them. Like, it's considered to be one of the worst seasons of the show. I like season 2. Like, I really like it a lot.
yeah,
Like, a lot. Like, I'm thrilled to be back into season 2. So, odds are, if I like it, the majority of people probably aren't. And I can live with that. But like, I'm not going to say, 100% that I like, it's back to being as good as it's ever been. But it's definitely back to being really good, I think.
yeah, dude. I think all the elements are there, and I agree with you.
But yeah, man, I thought this episode was good. Do you want to give it a rating? And now that I'm not there with you, I can actually you can't see what I'm holding up.
It's very mysterious, yeah.
All right, that's the way I like it. Very mysterious.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the way it is in the Barn of Pleasures. It's very mysterious. Like, you walk in there and you know Ezekiel's going to be there on his throne, but you never know who is going to be in there waiting on you.
And you don't know what's going to go in there. You know what I'm saying? Like up above.
Right. That can go many different ways.
It can.
And it's funny, too, because if you don't listen to this podcast regularly, maybe you're new, you have to go back to Fear the Walking Dead to understand what the Barn of Pleasures is. But let's just say King Ezekiel runs a sex barn out back. That's where Rick's been hiding all this time.
It's true. It's true.
You walk in, you're like, King Ezekiel, I'm here for the Barn of Pleasures. Welcome. Today your guest is Daryl. You just see Rick step out of the shadows. Hello, Dare Bear. But anyways, but yeah, let's rate this episode. What is your rating?
I'll give it a 4, man, just because they killed off a character I really did not like at all. And there were plenty of other good things about it, but yes, no thanks, Siddiq.
I feel the same way about Siddiq that I do Tyrese, right? Like, I really like Tyrese in the comics, and I liked Tyrese in the show, don't get me wrong, but I mean, just when you read the comics, that's one thing bad. I don't know how it feels to watch a show and not read the comics and how to judge characters. Like, I don't know, I might have totally loved Tyrese if I never read him in the comics, but, I was a little disappointed with it. But then when he died, I was just like, I was super sad that he was gone. And like Siddiq, I've went on record several times and said I just didn't really like the character, and now that he's gone, I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
A little sad, but anyways, I give it a 4.2.
Oh, man, going with the, okay, all right.
I was going to give it a 4, but being you did a 4, I just figured I'd go a 4.
I think it's earned those 2, like, tenths or whatever, like, whatever the next thing after the decimal point is, a hundredths or a tenth, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, and a 4 out of 5, man, I mean, that's good. I'd buy stuff on Amazon rated 4 out of 5.
Yeah, dude, same here. Same,
so
yeah.
Once you get into the 3 and the 2s, that's when you're not getting my dollar bills, but...
No.
Aside from that, but yeah, man, I thought it was a solid episode, and after next week's, which JP's supposed to be coming, you're supposed to be coming here to my house.
Yes.
Then we're going to do like a live cast afterwards.
Mm-hmm. And we'll do some stuff just for the patrons, and we'll do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and there might be something we do is just, we might do, of course, we'll always do the reviews on Mondays, and we've said Monday will always be Walking Dead, even when it's not on. We'll do Walking Dead What If, so we'll talk about articles we've seen or whatnot, but maybe we'll do like a Patreon exclusive live cast.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
We'll do something. I don't know if we have quite enough patrons that I don't know if all the patrons would be able to tune in at the same time, or then totally we could do that, but
we'll figure it out.
I don't know, we'll figure something out, but
yes.
Well, maybe we'll do like a live cast, like a reaction cast, where we do the podcast immediately after we'll record something, and then that will go to the patrons, and then we'll do our regular Monday for the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
That might be what we could do, like a reaction. Just saw it, got it. Yeah, we'll work on that. But see, we plan the podcast while you guys are sitting here listening.
That's right. Yeah, getting a behind the scenes scoop.
But yeah, man, I thought it was really good, and I'm hoping I will be back in studio tomorrow. But thanks for dealing with me in my probably very stuffy sounding voice.
Well, like I said, you make sure you're totally contaminant free before you come back.
Well, I'm gonna come in there and breathe all over you.
No, my God, no, don't do it.
Like, I'm just gonna come in there and be like,
oh.
Jape.
God,
I can't do that without coughing.
Yeah.
You hear that live
right.
on location. But anyways, yeah, so I guess we will catch you all on Wednesday for some Weird Wednesday, and then again on Friday, if nothing else, for our Mail Call Friday. And patrons, we're going to have some podcasts for you exclusively on the Patreon this week. I think we're looking to do at least 2.
Yeah, we'll probably do one tomorrow, possibly. Perhaps.
Yeah. Well, I think that, we should definitely do one tomorrow. So be looking for one tomorrow. I mean, a lot of times, if you were a big fan of like the Random Rambling Wednesdays, that's kind of the Patreon format that we kind of go with. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see you on Patreon. We'll see you on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. Thanks for dealing with me while I'm a bit delirious. I know I'm not really being too witty or too anything right now, but it's everything I can do to remain sitting up.
Yeah, I done got a little sleepy myself. It is weird doing it we're literally doing it like almost 12 hours after, when we'd normally do it. So It's a little weird, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. We'll see patrons tomorrow. We'll see the rest of you on Wednesday. I'm Justin.
Now I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.
Woo-wee. I'm going to hit stop now.